we will do, ladies, is we'll wait just 1 more minute and then we'll get started. So just make sure before we start, as we are doing balance, that your area around you is clear. So there's nothing that you're going to trip on. That if you need to have a balance aid, that you're near a wall or you can transfer yourself to a wall with ease. I think it's best to do this without socks. I know. Get your feet into the floor. That's the goal. So let us get started. I don't know why I've got this jumper on. It's not cold in here at all. Just, it's a safety blanket. So from there, guys, let's start off with a nice little warm-up, okay? We're going to have our feet directly underneath our hips. The first thing I want you to do is wiggle your toes and then press them into the floor. We're then going to bend the knees and give the arms a little swing. And then from there, we're going to place our hands onto our hips. We're then going to tilt the pelvis forward and back in a really, really exaggerated fashion, just to get those hips moving. And then we're going to bring that pelvis to that nice neutral position. Stretch those legs. Imagine your 3 circles, hips, ribs, shoulders and collarbone. Close your eyes. Just take 3 nice deep breaths just to get focused. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. 2 more there. Big breath in and out. Final big breath in and out. From there, we're going to open the eyes and we're just going to start with some little shoulder rolls. So we're going to roll the shoulders down the back. We're then going to place, hi Anita, place the hands onto the shoulders and roll the elbows back. So we've got that nice big circle. And then lastly, we're going to let go of those shoulders. 3 big arm circles, lifting the chest as we come around. 3 and 2. And 1. We're going to finish with the hands up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers. Press the hands up towards the ceiling. And you're just going to reach up with the right hand and reach up with the left hand. Feeling this nice length all through the sides of the body. You're going to give me 1 more on each side. And then we're just going to place the hands behind the head. And we're just going to do a quick, very gentle rotation of the spine from right all the way through center and then to the left. Goal is that we want to try and keep our hips facing the front and we're not pushing to our max. We're just gently mobilizing our spine as our warm-up. And once you finish your last one to your left, way back to center. And we're going to relax those hands down. So we're going to be focusing a lot on our feet today as the goal is balance. Anita, you're going to need like a small ball, can be a tennis ball, can be a dog ball. If not, you can use a rolling pin, a deodorant can, whatever it may be. So you're going to take either your small ball or your rolling pin, whatever it may be, and you're going to place it onto the floor. So the first thing that we want to do if we're practicing balance is bring a bit of sensitivity to our feet. So I'm going to bring my camera down so you can get a good look at my feet. Lucky you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our ball or our rolling pin. You're going to keep your heel on the mat and you're going to try and place the ball underneath the metatarsal. So that's right underneath the ball of the foot. You're then going to spread your toes and then you're going to try and press down with the midfoot and then lift. Down with the midfoot and lift. So we're creating like a curve in this part, right? In our metatarsals here at the top of our foot. So the goal and the purpose of doing this is to build sensitivity and awareness and strength in our feet. This is the first point of contact when it comes to balance. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we've got strong feet. We also want to make sure that we have good proprioception, because when our body is trying to tell us where to balance, where to step, this is what is the first point of contact. Now, once you've done a few of those, hopefully you've got a nice bit of stretch through the feet. You're then just going to roll the ball. So you're going to start with the ball at the heel or the rolling pin, and you're going to roll to the base of the big toe and then back to the heel, to the base of the second toe, and then to the heel, base of the third toe, and so on and so forth. Just gently rolling back and forth. Now be careful that you don't roll your roller away from you. And I would suggest maybe holding on to something if you find that your balance kind of leaves you a little bit, which we are standing on one leg, so that's normal. But the goal is that we want to roll through the feet. We want to create a bit of sensitivity. You can always kind of roll inwards on that part of the arch if you like. If there's a particular spot where you've got tension, you can roll it. And once you finish your last one there, we're going to finish with the heel on the ball and the ball of the foot on the floor. And you're just gently going to press that heel very gently into your ball, okay? So we're building that sensitivity all throughout that feet so that we can enhance our proprioception. So we know exactly where we need to stand and we get good messages sent from the body to the brain to help us balance well. Now, once you've finished your last one here, I just want you to stand, okay, with your feet and see if you feel a difference in your massaged foot and your not massaged foot. And then we're going to go to the other side, okay? I'm going to come down here now so you can see my face a little bit. Now we sort of know what we're doing. So remember, we're starting off with the heel on the mat. You want to get the ball underneath the ball of the foot. You want to spread your toes wide and press the pads of the toes down. And remembering it's that metatarsal that we want to work through, okay? Metatarsal that we want to work through. So super, super important to get that strength in the foot. A lot of people will just grip with their toes, right? But when we grip with the toes, what happens is we just tend to get flexion here. And what we want to do is build strength and support. We want to have strong arches, okay? Also important to work the arches in the metatarsal because that's what creates that strike in the foot. That's what propels us forward. So you're going to give me a couple more here and then we're going to start with our roll. So rolling from the base of the foot up through each toe, trying to make sure that we're keeping ourselves balanced, okay? And also moving the ball around the foot. If you've got a particular spot and you're like, ooh, that feels a little bit sensitive, like for me, it's right on my inner arch there, then you're more than welcome to spend a little bit more time there. But this is, believe it or not, one of those things that we don't really think about when we come to balance, right? We just think about kind of being able to hold a balance on one leg. But no, we've got to make sure feet are well connected, good for proprioception. We've got good visual cues and also vestibular reflex, which is our inner ear, which we'll get to in a second. Now, the last part, you just pop the heel, the ball underneath the heel, keep the ball of the foot on the toe, and you just push down through the heel. Nice. So just very, very gently. And this is also a great exercise. Rachel, was it you last week who said plantar fasciitis? Anytime you've got a problem, you know, with the feet, underneath the feet, massaging, anything like this is really going to help. So once you've finished your last one there, we can pop our ball to one side, stand where you are, and hopefully you're going to feel a lovely difference between your feet when we started and when we finished. So from there, we're going to work the different sections of our balance. So we're going to start off by strengthening the back of the feet. So you're just going to find a nice hip width distance apart. You're going to spread those toes and press them into the floor. Now remember, we want to be balanced at the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the center of the heel. From there, you're going to give me 10 heel raises, rising up onto those tiptoes and lowering down onto those heels. So this is to get the back of the leg working, right? Particularly your calves, okay? So we know we want to lift through those arches, which we've already warmed up. Now we want to get that work into the back of the calves, and I want you to think of pressing into those 2 points of contact, right? Base of the big toe and base of the little toe as you rise up. Now on your next one, we're going to hold it there an extra second just to test that balance, then we're going to lower back down. We're then going to walk towards the end of our mat. It's really good to kind of practice along a wall just so that you have a little bit of balance. We're then going to rise up onto our tiptoes, make sure we're touching those 2 points of contact on the floor, and staying on your tiptoes, you're going to walk to the length of your mat. Now you've got 2 choices here. If you feel comfortable with your balance, you can walk backwards. If you don't feel comfortable with your balance, I suggest you turn around and you walk back. The goal, you can always lower the heels at the end just to give the calves a little rest. So we go up onto the tiptoes, we'll walk forward onto that mat. If we feel comfortable enough, then we're going to walk backwards as well. We're really having to work hard through our feet. You're going to give me 2 more sets here, forward and back, whether that be turning around or walking backwards, which is going to challenge as we go. Good. We're going to finish our last one here, and then we've got to work the front of our feet and down. Now, you don't have to put your back against the wall, but if you have got something you can lean on and have your feet slightly further forward, it's slightly easier. You're going to lift the balls of your feet up off the mat and then lower them back down. Balls of the feet up off the mat and lower them back down. So this is really to strengthen the top of the front of the shin. This is particularly important because if we don't have good strength and efficiency in this muscle, tibialis anterior, we're not able to lift that foot up, which is, you know, like when you trip over your feet because you're not picking up your feet properly. Really, it's just because you've lost either that ability to lift or that strength through here. So once you've done a couple reps there, you're now going to do exactly the same as we just did, but you're going to lift your heels up and you're going to walk on your heels. Rachel, if it doesn't feel good on the heel for you, you can always go on your tiptoes instead, or like you can just kind of walk through the floor, rolling through the feet might be helpful as well. Now, you don't have to go backwards because it is quite challenging, but you can go forward. Goal is that we're forward on our heels, turn around if we need to, and walk back. And what we want to do is get a little bit of a burning sensation in the front of our shins, which is, of course, that endurance, right? That ability to be able to sustain that contraction. We're going to go at least 2 more sets. Everyone looks really like, we all look like beautiful little penguins in the best way possible, right? We look a bit silly, but you know what? Our balance and our tibialis anterior will thank you later. So once you've finished your last set, give those legs a lovely little shake. And we're going to come into the center of our mat. Now this time, we're going to start to talk about transference of weight. So you're going to have to use your center a little bit more. So we talked about lower body, now we're talking about center. You're going to have your right foot forward and your left foot back. And it's important that when the back foot, you stay on the ball of the foot, okay? Hands on your hips. You're going to shift your weight forward into your front leg. You're then going to bend your back knee, keeping the heel lifted, straighten your front leg and lean back. So you're going to shift your weight forward, bending the front knee, taking your weight forward. Then you're going to bend your back knee, straighten your front leg, keep that heel lifted and come back. So we're just transferring that weight forward and back. Now we want to be slow and controlled. We want to ground our feet through the floor. And obviously, the more you lean, you can see it's a big lean, a big hinge forward and back. We should get that little bit of wobble. Now, if this feels easy peasy lemon squeezy, then we're going to add on. Okay? If it doesn't, you're going to stay where you are. As you hinge forward, you're then going to lift that leg up. You're then going to lower that leg down. Bend the back leg as you straighten the front leg. And you're going to hinge your body. So you notice that my chest, I've got that straight line. I've not got my hips back there, I've got my hips forward, okay? You then shift your weight into that front leg. Once you feel stable, you can take the leg off if you feel stable, okay? You then put the ball of the foot back down. Bend the front knee or bend the back knee, keep that front leg straight and change. We're going to do 2 more like that. So shift that weight forward, find that balance, lower that leg down, bend your back knee, straighten your front leg, lean backwards with that body, okay? Last set, we go forward, shifting that weight right over that leg. If you can, take that leg off and find that balance. Lower that leg down. Shift that weight into your back leg. So you bend your back knee, you have your front leg straight and your body's leaning back. And then you're going to step those feet together. Good. Give me a thumbs up. We're okay so far. Easy. So let's do the other side. Left leg forward, right leg back. Remember, we're on the ball of that back foot. The ball of the foot is where that power and force comes from, huh? So starting by just shifting the weight forward into your front leg. Then you bend your back knee, you lean back to test your balance this way. So we bend the front leg, we lean forward. We bend the back leg, we lean back. Like anything, the more extreme position you put your body in, the more challenging it's going to be, yeah? Especially that back one, right? I want to see that position where you've got your back knee bent, your front leg straight, and that body is leaning back. That's it. Now give me 1 more on each side, and then we're going to start to add in that little leg lift. So as you shift your weight forward into your front leg, you take that front leg off. You lower that leg down. You bend that front knee as you hinge back. Good. Then you shift that weight into that front leg and you lift. Then you lower that leg down. Bend that back knee as you hinge. You just got 2 more here. And also we want to be slow and controlled. We want to move with intention. Hopefully, because we've built really good signals to our feet, we're feeling really grounded, yeah? This is your last one, so make it count. And then you're going to pop that foot all the way down, bend that back knee, find a nice hinge backwards, and then take your weight into your front leg. Good, okay. So, from there, we're going to come into a squat position. You're just going to give me 10 basic squats to begin with, okay? So hands can go across the chest, or if you want to make it harder, they can go overhead. So we're going to bend our knees, and we're going to come into our squat for 10, and lift. 9, love that everyone's going for it. 8, and 7. We go 6, and 5. Final 4. And 3, stretching those arms, long spine, hinging from the hips. Last 1, standing up nice and tall. So from there, now we're going to add on, okay? We're going to do a little squat, and then we're going to shift our weight onto our leg, okay? Oh yeah. Now, you can keep your foot on the floor if that helps. Or if you want to make it harder, you're going to lift your leg up. So I'll do it again on the other side. We're going to hinge or squat, and then we're going to find a single leg balance. Now remember, you can always keep 1 toe on the floor. The goal is that as we lift up, we're shifting our weight from side to side. Okay? Now, the secret to this is about placement of your body weight. Yeah? You want to get your body weight over your supporting leg. So you want to think of stacking knee, hip, and shoulder one on top of the other. Now, of course, the faster that you move, slightly easier. If you move slow, pushing away, it's harder. And that's what we want, right? If we're talking about balance, we want to be controlled. We want to use our core stability. Now, if this feels easy peasy lemon squeezy, we're going to add on, okay? So I'm going to show you, you're going to come into your balance. Now this time you're going to see if you can hinge your body so that we're side on, and then step your feet back down. So we do a squat, single leg balance, then you see if you can hinge. You notice how I'm taking my body over to that side and then stepping back down. Good, guys. Squat and balance. See if you can hinge. So think like a seesaw. You're going to go, yes, Kay. You're going to go towards that leg. You're then going to come back. Now remember, we love a wobble. Yeah? You don't want to be scared of a wobble. Anytime you feel that joints move or you wobble around, it's your body learning to catch itself. It's your body stabilizing. Muscles in the body stabilizing the joints are super, super important. Yes, guys, you're going to give me your last one on your left. Nice deep bend. Push away, find that balance. See if you can go a bit further than you went before. Yes, come all the way back. Oh, and then relax. Okay, so here comes the fun part. Transference of weight is important. Proprioception is important. But also skills, so cognitive skills as well as vestibular. So all I want you to do, ladies, is take hold of your ball and you're going to start with a single leg balance. So if you need a little bit of help, like standing next to a wall, then you can. I just want you to take a single leg balance. Now, if you feel comfortable in your single leg balance, I want you to start throwing and catching your ball, okay? Oh yeah, or something of that nature. What have you got, Jane, that you can throw around? Good, nice, Anita. Yeah, make sure you got your... So this is what I like to call my party games. Yeah. Now, remember, if you can always just put one big toe down. So if you find like it's too hard, you can always just have literally a big toe on the ground. Still going to be challenging on your balance. Or what you can do is come into a tandem stance. So you'll actually have, I think actually, let's try this all together. One foot in front of the other. Oh yeah. And as you are keeping your tandem stance, I want you to play with how you throw and catch your ball, okay? Maybe you're going to do a big throw and then a little throw. Maybe you're going to throw it from hand to hand. Okay. But I want you to do it. Now, I've got you guys on mute, so you can't hear me, but I want you to carry on throwing and catching your ball, and you can switch your legs over. But this time, as you throw and catch your ball, I want you to walk me through the steps. So talk it out loud. No one can hear you. I want you to tell me how to make a cup of tea from start to finish as you stand in your tandem stance and throw and catch your ball. Yes, ladies. Good. Good. Not forgetting that throwing and catching, not forgetting that balance. Good. And once you have finished explaining your cup of tea, you can just catch your ball and just stand there so I know that you're done. Good. And how did it feel? Like, give me thumbs up, thumbs down in the middle. Right? So the reason that it's challenging is because it's called dual tasking. So you're having to think of a cognitive task. You're having to relay something in your memory and work on your balance at the same time. And this kind of exercise is amazing for balance because we don't think about balance in our day-to-day. We just like expect to do it while we're walking down the street, or when our foot steps on a pavement that's a little bit uneven, we have to do it. So these exercises are so great for doing it. So let's put our ball away. We're going to finish with some nice leg stretches. So you can use your wall again or something to lean on. You're going to have your hands on the wall. You're going to step your left foot forward and your right foot back. You're going to bend your left foot and you're going to drive your right heel into the mat. So this should give you a really lovely stretch down through the back of that right calf. Remember, you can make your stance longer if you want to increase the stretch and you push your hands into the wall. Couple nice deep breaths here. Just so we get that nice lengthening through the back of the leg. You're going to give me one more nice deep breath there. And then when you're ready, you're going to change sides. So then your left foot is going to be behind. You're going to drive that left heel into the floor, knee bend. Doesn't matter if the heel doesn't touch the floor, as long as you feel that lovely, beautiful stretch down through the back of the leg. The more you lean forward and press down, deeper sensation you get. So you're going to give me one more there. And then you're going to come and stand yourself up. We're then going to, you can keep hold of your wall, cross your right ankle over your left. And you're just going to place the top of the foot on the floor. Now you kind of make a sort of broken ankle, and you're just very gently going to move that leg and your hips around until you feel a nice big stretch in the front of your foot. Yeah, it's going to be slightly different for everyone. Have a little play. Personally, for me, when I push my little toes and the front of my foot around my little toe, push my ankle forward, that's the biggest stretch for me. Yeah, but might be a little bit different for everyone. You're going to hold it one more nice deep breath here, and then we're going to change foot. So you're going to cross your left ankle over your right, try and get the top of the foot to touch the mat, and then very gently apply pressure. So I'm very gently pushing my foot into the floor. Now, of course, if you move your legs and your hips around, you'll hit a different point and stretch your quad. So keep hold of something if you need to. Grab hold of your foot. Pull your foot towards your bottom and press your hips towards the front. That's very important to get that nice big stretch through the front of the quad. Couple nice deep breaths here. Remember, don't let that bum stick out. Press those hips forward. One more breath. And we're then very gently going to release the leg. Remember, use a little balance aid, then you're going to grab hold of the other foot. Press the hips to the front of the room. Make sure the knees are underneath the hips and pull the foot towards the bottom. 3 nice deep breaths in here. 3 and 2. Last one. We're then going to relax the foot down and give those legs a little shake. Come to the center of your mat, and you're going to have your heels together and your toes apart. I want you to just take a nice deep breath in and just roll the shoulders away from the ears. Just give me 2 more like that. Big breath in, release. Hopefully we feel a bit more grounded, a bit more stable, and we've got some good ideas to take into our balance practice. You're then going to find a focus on the wall in front of you and rise up onto your tiptoes. Hold your balance. Remember that the heels press down into the floor, but you keep lifting through your center. You've got 2 more like that. Rising up, hold. Heels press down with control. Now this last one, we hold up there. We hold. We take our hands overhead. Good. Now only if you feel stable, could you maybe close your eyes for a second and keep your balance? And then could you open your eyes? Press down your hands, your shoulders and your heels. Take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You guys are all done. Well done, ladies.